Okay, so I'm gonna be playing the SimCity 5 beta. I tried this earlier. I forgot to reset my settings after I reinstalled the game, and I had some trouble with the actual filters that the in-game actually... Like, the game has these set of filters that can... Yeah, this is what happened last time. Huh. So, I guess I'll just turn these off because they don't seem to be working all that well. Alright. Make sure that all works. Okay. Since the filters don't work, that kind of sucks a lot because I really want to test them out for a while. But you can't always get what you want. So she wants me to build a road. I'm going to build a road. You may notice that I am a big fan of actually having kind of like a curvy city. And how you do that is like you're able to actually just build different types of roads. There's also like a freeform road. You're able to build just a circle road. I'm really into like the curviness of the road, and that allows me to actually plan out like residential blocks a little bit better. So go. Nope. Come on. Just a tip. Just a tip. Okay, so we'll go like that. We'll build just a straight road again, going down, because this is going to be basically our downtown section. So I'm going to build this. Oh, what did I do? Alright. Okay, so that's all set. So what I'm going to do is also bisect this in a way that makes sense. I usually like to keep it a little bit more room because I like to build, but that doesn't match, but I'm going to leave that be because I'm going to try not to be a crazy person while designing my city. So I'm going to do this, and now I'm going to build some residential sectors. I have a bad habit of going deeply in debt early on in this game, and I'm going to see if I can't like get out of that habit. So next I'm going to build a power plant, because this is SimCity. You need power plants for everything. You also need standard stuff like water treatment plants and just fun stuff like that. So I have my road. I'm a big fan of wind power in this game, at least right now. It seems to be relatively cheap, and once you upgrade it a few times, it's actually really cool. And one of the really interesting things is that I didn't even notice the first time I played this. You can actually make a service road, so you can actually expand your power plant, like to add more wind turbines. So that's always a fun thing to do. I'm going to quit out that. Go check out all the poor people who are moving into my city. So we'll build a water. This is just basically a quick overview of the water table. So as you see, certain areas are white, certain areas are blue. So the blue areas are superior, and I am too broke to actually afford that, which is shameful. I usually run into this problem when I'm building in SimCity. I usually I overextend too early on in the game. So I usually like to turn this, I'm going to go to here, and this will, I'm going to build an additional residential sector here and through here. Also a big fan of just having industrial sector really far away from actually the rest of my city. Just because of the air pollution and things of that nature. I find it makes it a little bit easier to at least deal with early on. I kind of wish I didn't build like 3 of them, because I feel like that is actually probably draining my economy more than it should. So I have gotten into the kind of bad habit of deficit spending early on in the game, so I'll accept a bond. And yes, that does cut down on like the amount of money I can earn long term, but also like because I have kind of fucked up and not really messed up. I have overextended basically. So now that, like, first thing, water's out in the market, I'm able to build City Hall. Always a good thing. I believe I zoned all this area for residential. Congratulations, hard work is paying off. I'm just gonna keep the name because, frankly, the city isn't gonna stick around, so I don't really see a point in changing the name. So as you see, there's like different level of densities when it comes to actually building it. So 2-lane roads. It's basically I always usually just go with the heaviest density for at least my like core section of my city. I mean, it's not needed right now, but I would rather build it now and not have to rezone large portions of my city later. Just trying to save myself some time personally. Plus I'm lazy. Let's just be honest. This is all has to do with me being lazy. So I'm gonna requires extensive modification to the existing road. So what I'm gonna try is I'm gonna build like this. That is terrible, but you know what? I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm gonna bisect this actually. And what I'm going to do is actually just turn this all into industrial zones, because I personally find that, like, if I invest heavy enough into industrial early on, is that it will actually pay for itself, and usually pays for most of my city. So I'm just going to go like this, draw this. I'm not sure how much of the game audio is actually coming through, but there's actually a nice little sound as you're filling it up. I need sewage plant, often another thing I forget about. And I also forget about garbage a lot. So I'm going to put the garbage facility a little bit over here, because eventually you're going to need room for it to expand. Wow, that's the first time I saw that happen. Huh. That's interesting. Not really. That seems like a weird bug. But I'm gonna leave it for now, I guess. It doesn't really hurt anyone, and I really don't feel like respending that $9 grand. And the great thing is, actually, like, not the sewage plant, but this actually gets rid of a lot of the water pollution that crops up naturally from development. What I'm gonna do is bisect this, so I have this nice little section, and then I'm gonna. Oh, not enough money. I'll come down to here and what I'll do is I'll wait a little bit until I'm able to get some more money, and then just create this new section of road, which can, yeah, I just need a little bit more money personally. You can actually turn off the grids if you want. I kind of like to keep them on, because it just gives me a general sense of like how I'm building. So you guys see this box isn't actually even symmetrical, which I'm gonna do my best to have it not bug me for now. And because this is a beta, I always find there's like a lot of like crazy, just kind of weird bugs that go on. So you see, like, a lot of people are living in trailer parks right now, but that's mainly due to the fact that, like, they don't have a proper education system. So as you like as I build a better education system, these people will actually become more educated, and they'll get better houses as norm with usually this type of game. They actually do say some funny things like, hey, why don't we have a monster truck rally? Which I'm like, we're never having a monster truck rally, ever. So you might as well just move out of my city. And the great thing is, you can actually zoom out. So if you want a regional view, you can actually see, like, if I go one further back. So, like, these are my possibility of my neighbors, right? So, say, like, and I naturally assume this is going to be expanded when the full game comes out, so you can have more than just 3 neighbors, but right now it's currently only 2 neighbors, and I'm not really even sure why they're there, considering you can't even save your city. Since I'm making good money now, I'm going to actually throw out another bond. More deficit spending. It's not really deficit spending, I'm making a profit, so I just like to call it deficit spending. Makes me feel better. Mass transit has actually become a lot easier in this game, I found. Just in an overall sense that you're more able to build like a mass transit system that makes sense for the needs of your city. So, bus stops, it's always good. So I have like a fairly good residential sector right now. What I'm going to do is actually continue to expand it. I'm going to go with like a little bit of a lower density road through here. And kind of like bisect this a little bit. Just to allow like more urban development and more sprawl, really. And I think there's a way to actually just fully do a square, but I'm not 100% sure on that right now. I'm actually really excited for this beta. Not the beta, per se, because the beta only actually gives you an hour of gameplay, which is kind of terrible because you just kind of get your city really kicking by time like the beta ends. So I usually like to do this, which right up to there should be fine, because then I can actually, like, if I need to, I can throw like a park here or something. I also like planned a park. I'm not really sure what that sound is. It's weird. I heard this like heart beating sound, which I only have ever heard like once before. So it's not power plant, because that's true. And it's not that. I think it might actually be education. Yeah, it's education. So one of the audio cues that I find that pops up in this game quite a bit is actually is that you'll hear a heartbeat. So as something is being taxed, like the school, a heartbeat will sound. So you'll be like, it's a good simple audio cue that actually allows you to, like, it kind of gets your attention. So you can kind of take steps to actually correct the problem that happens. Which is, in this case, it's just there was too many kids in that school. Which I actually fixed by just doing an attachment, which I'm doing here. This is actually a really cool system where you're able to build just a basic park, then add on to it as you need to. I really enjoy that, and because the radius is fairly big around the sector, it's doing quite well. What I'm going to do is actually increase my commercial zoning through here. There's not really a huge need for commercial zoning right now, but I always personally find that like just good commercial zoning early on, as long as it's developed, it will usually yield some kind of results. Mainly because I personally don't like the sprawl of heavily industrialized cities. I know it's a necessity, but it's not personally one of my favorites. So as you can see, I just took on a quest actually. So he wants his quest is basically to get so many residents to the city. And you know, frankly, that's not hard. I have a lot of basic development needs that needs to be actually taken care of, which is just residents need places to live. So I'm gonna start zoning more residential areas for that. I should actually probably go to bed soon. I have work tomorrow, but that can wait for a little bit. No one will read my emails anyways. Well, at least currently. So as we can see, I kind of like putting a good commercial zone through here because it gives like a good residential, like not residential, commercial bump. Because like a lot of people have to take this main artery and come up to the city, and that also it's a flow of traffic, basically. I actually kind of really despise this whole grid-based kind of drawing system right now. If I was actually contemplating running around with the idea of actually building like a circular city, just all like circles within circles, kind of similar to how DC is kind of crafted. What I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna start rounding out some of the worst parts of the zones, and I always found that at least with the industrial, like not the industrial zone, but like the commercial zones, like around the power plants, is that the power plants are always really a really good place to actually put like good industrial zones into. Actually, again, just blocks. I hate the blocks, but you know, they kind of serve a purpose here. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this area yet, but what I'm going to do is put some residential here, put some residential here. I'm going to check on that school real quick. Whoops. How do I dezone again? This is how you dezone. So I dezoned that. I'm going to destroy that. I believe the dezone stuck. Yes, it did. So I'm going to check out the school. Currently there's 172 students enrolled at this school. Since I just put up more education things, I'm going to actually have to expand my bus route to incorporate some of the new education, new residential sectors. As we see here, actually no, that's just a regular school. There should be actually like little buildings popping up, so you can see like as the neighborhoods kind of grow up into like more advanced sectors. I guess I'm gonna build some commercial sectors around here, I guess. And only good thing is I'm making a ton of money on this city currently, which usually means that it's a good time to actually create a hospital or a clinic. I always find, like, at least in my personal city at this stage, police aren't really super important, but things like clinics and fire departments are really important. Going to the small clinic. Okay, he just basically gave me a quest on. I believe it has to do with how many sick people you are treating. Some of these signs actually have they have a cost, but it's also just an interesting thing where it's like it gives your Sims more of an idea where things are in location to where they are, basically. So there's a sign, and people can see the sign for the clinic and know that they're a clinic. I think the in-game description is like, hey, no one has time to look in a phone book for a number for whatchamacallit. They're just gonna look for the sign, basically. As you can see, there's already ambulances going out. I have this on Cheetah because, frankly, I only have an hour, and I kind of want to get the city as big as possible. So that means I'm going to be actually doing some modifications here. I still don't have enough money for that. I think I need $10,000. I love this little... Is that the van's just going back and forth? Actually, that's a school bus, but that's not a big deal. Let's add in our ambulance this area now, thank God. And what we're going to do is actually, our next big step is we're going to actually build more parks. So I actually want to build like a nice sporting park closer to like a soccer field towards the school, actually. And like I kind of want just this general area to be like a giant sports park, except for over here because I'm going to need room to expand my school system, which I should be able to do within like a a set amount of time. I could actually probably build a smaller park and have it work out, but residents, homeless, there's actually no homeless in my city currently, which is also a good thing. Education seems to be doing well. Actually, no, education, I might actually need to increase the amount of, let's see, yes, get a little class. So I'm going to build this on top of here. That will increase the overall students up to, I think, 550. So that's always good. So, but unfortunately, it does put a hamper in my ability to build that sports park. As you see, I'm paying down my bonds right now. I kind of don't want to do anything to mess with the. I'm going to upgrade my city though. So basically that just gives me the ability to tax different commercial groups separately. So if I want, I can heavily tax the industrial sector, while like I can heavily... the most interesting thing I have seen is in one game I actually heavily taxed the low, cheap... Wow, that is a traffic jam. That is a horrible traffic jam. I'm gonna have to actually increase that road size. Wonder how I'd do that. I'm probably gonna have to delete that road. Which will get rid of those factories, which sucks, but actually, you know what I'll do? I'll build a separate entrance and actually delete that road. Nope. So I'll delete this little thing here, and I'll do a little curvy of a road. So I believe it should be able to link up really, really near to where the original road was. And what I'll do is I'll just delete this road here. I'll keep this road. It'll just be a second entrance. This will be the quicker way to actually get into the industrial sector and will actually relieve a lot of the traffic problems we're currently suffering. A lot of kids go there. As I stated, I'm going to build a very nice little soccer park. Don't know why I built a baseball park, but I'm going to build a skate park and volleyball court. I think those are separate things. I should have actually just added on to them, which would have been the smarter play, but I kind of forgot about that. So I'll add this. I'll add some tennis courts for the patricians that will eventually move in here. And there is actually a size limit to how much you can actually increase this by. So, for example, as you can see, certain things are overlapping now, but that does allow me to do interesting things, like build this little skate park here. Even though they're not attached, they count as separate entities, which I kind of don't like. I wish I could actually link them at this point, but I messed up when I built it. As you can see, a lot of people are really happy in my city. I'm going to check my overall power generation. So I'm generating a lot of power, and unfortunately I'm not able to sell it. Probably just due to the fact that it's in a beta. I kind of wish this wasn't in beta, or just allow you to play with some of your friends on Origin. I mean, not that I have really any friends on Origin, unfortunately, just because of how the service is. What am I gonna be doing though is actually increasing the reactor, not the reactor, the wind farm to this sector over here. So that will just increase the amount of turbines I can produce. Instead of actually having to build a second power plant, I'll just build 4 more turbines. These people are unhappy probably because they don't have workers. So as you can see, workers are I really, really need it. Unfortunately, this sector is actually still really poor, for lack of a better word. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'll see if I can't increase the, like, something smaller. Like this. Add this. Add this. I'll take care of a lot of that. We can finally take a shower. That's kind of weird, considering like my city has a clean water supply for the longest time. There's still... I personally don't like that, but I'm too cheap to actually delete it, then rebuild it. That's the first time I actually saw that pop up in a while. It seems to only pop up like in very particular angles also. Like if it's straight on, last game I had a straight on, just a straight road, and it didn't seem to have that problem. So what I'm going to do is, right now is actually destroy this facility here, and which kind of sucks. I actually really hate destroying people's livelihoods, contrary to popular belief. But what I'll do here, and what I want to do is connect this to here. And the main reason I'm doing that is actually to create another residential zone, or even another commercial zone leading into a residential zone. So what I'll do is that, and what I'll do is also, I'm just going to zone all this for commercial use. And hopefully I can get some really nice commercial buildings going on. I think I might actually cut the tax rate on commercial buildings by a lot. See, we got our first apartment building. And so I'm going to build, I need 15,000. So I could probably still cut the tax rate on at least larger commercial zones. I'm just going to keep the tax rate where it is for now, but I'm also going to like build a new residential zone. Nope. What I'll do is that, and I love how the city actually kind of turns into bedlam after a little bit. So I'm just going to go through here, bisect this entire area, and I wonder if I could like just... Nope. I can try, but it's not going to work. Oh, that actually worked. Surprising. Oh, I think that was just because I was actually running out of money. Good. Now that I have enough money, I should just be able to create this right to here and build a fire department, because apparently I need it, as it's stated by that giant red thing. So there's about 2 buildings burning down per day. Always a fun thing. I may have to take out another loan to pay for this. So, ooh, I could take out a 50,000. Yeah. Yeah, I could totally get behind that. No, I'll take out the lower loan. You can actually pay off the loans earlier if you really, really want to. But you know, I for all fairness, I can actually probably pay this off pretty quickly if I wanted to. But I'm gonna decide. I'm just gonna hold off on that. Put up the sign, and unfortunately I can't actually put that firefighter sign anywheres. But now that I have a firefighter department, firefighting department, I added a patient thing already. That's kind of weird. So like, As you can see, we have 3 rubble buildings. So what we're going to do is tear that down, and tear that down. And they'll be able to save the last one. These factories are all... There's not enough places to ship freight. Okay. So I'll just destroy these 2 factories and hopefully something can be built in its stead. And over here I'm going to build that new residential sector. I gotta remember to actually give the residential sectors like enough room to actually breathe. Which is, I think, what's hampering my city development over on the downtown core, really. I think a lot of these buildings are actually being hampered from the inability to properly develop. So what I'm going to do is build some more parks. Parks are always a great idea. And they generally raise the overall cost, like the overall land cost. So, you know what also might be the problem is I'm not 100% sure if I put down stop signs in this sector. So if I do that, you know, they got better education now, so I'm going to throw one over here. And what I actually need to do over there is actually build a school. And that school is actually just going to handle that entire sector. So I'll build this, and I have a funny feeling that this school is actually going to become really populated really quickly, so... there's probably a desperate need for more like industrial zoning, actually. So what I'm gonna do is zone some land for like high density industrialization. So once again, money, I'll do that. And as you can see with the road currently, I can actually kind of get a visual representation of where the traffic is actually happening in my city, and a lot of traffic is going down the main drag. I don't understand why they would take this road, say, over this road here. I think these are just personally moving vans, but it still really doesn't make a lick of sense. Water's still good. We're still generating a fair bit of power, which is a good thing. Who said you can't build a city on wind power? We have some nice apartment building coming up in here. We got some nice commercial zoning. Kind of wish there was more want for commercial zoning in the city, but you know, you can't always get what you want. I'm going to actually be increasing this park facility by quite a bit. So I'm trying to actually just force this section of the city into a higher tax bracket. So usually just by throwing money at the problem until it gets fixed. So I'll take care of some of that. And what I'll do is you, playground, playground, thingamajiggy, and thingamajiggy. So you can see people are actually really happy for that. I should actually probably check out the graph for land values or building density. You know what? It might actually just... Oh, no, never mind. As soon as I did that, the land is starting to develop into a much more rich kind of land mass. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to just... I'm wondering, I'm actually classroom filled. So as we can see, this classroom is full. What I'm gonna do is add a further extension onto it. It kind of sucks that they have to actually commute all this way to actually get to school, but that should be fine, at least in the short term. Need more money, though. Funny how I'm always running out of money. It's like I'm paying back like tons of debts or something. Hopefully soon I'll be able to actually increase the schooling on this area, so... what I might do is just build a little road through here and actually just zone that all for actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm actually just gonna turn like I was thinking I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with that area of the city actually, and I still am not 100% sure. There's a lot of traffic going on right now. Which kind of sucks, because I kind of feel like there's enough alternative routes that they should know better. But again, that's where a good public transit system would come into play. At least in the short term, I'd be able to alleviate some of that congestion in the downtown core. Again, this stuff. So again, the one thing in this northern sector that has not been built is a nice park area. So I'll build this here, and I'll build this over here, and I'll build a nice formal one over here. Since it's so close to Industrial Park, I want these two kind of to prop up the land to actually just not allow that kind of the problem that usually happens, which is like the industrial zone usually drags down the rest of the area when it comes to pollution and just land value. So I'm going to zone all this for industrial. I think my inner Canadian's showing how much I actually despise the industrial sector, which I find kind of funny. Alright, so I'm going to destroy these buildings. They're abandoned. No point in them. So, we got some actually really nice, like, houses coming up here. So I'm going to kind of build some, like, really fancy plazas around here. And it really, I'm not giant on making it look pretty. I just kind of, like, throw it in there and stick it, like, just keep it in there for as long as possible. Alright, so we have a nice little, like, plaza area for the now patricians of my city to actually go to. And, I guess I'll go with, like, a kind of a plaza kind of thing over here. So we have this, we have this. Add, like, a... Oh, man. Need more money. Oh, that taught 150 kids. They have a 350 capacity. That taught 500. They have a 750 capacity. I don't think I added school bus routes, but we can check that out real quick. They're doing pretty well. And our school bus route there. Try to get those people to stop being fucking trailer park for really. Let them actually move up to the west side. Yeah, again, buses are a big need in my city right now, as stated by my community member. So I think I'll probably be... It would probably be a good idea to actually just build a... one second. Just to complete that quest, I should actually... Man, that's a lot of money. Build a few streetcar bus routes. But the sucky thing is, I'm already I already have quite a big deficit, so just kind of waiting for things to actually catch up. it really does suck because, like, I really want to build this match transit system. I really want to upgrade these schoolings. I want to get this, like, clinic up to a higher level. Maybe build our clinic over here, actually. It's just, there's a lot to do, and really, there's never enough money to do it. So I kind of feel like this is kind of like a really great simulation, because it kind of fits. I really hate the fact that my really nice, we have all these really nice houses over here, right next to this really dirty industrial sector, which is really only being held off by these really nice parks, really. And it kind of sucks. Look at, like, how developed that one end is compared to this end. And probably that's all just due to the fact that, what was I going to build? No idea. Oh, I remember. I'm going to do streetcars. I'm going to do streetcars first. I'm going to do a financial thing over here. I'm going to deal with some of the schooling problems, and also clothes. Needs power. Oh man, never mind. Power might just be the bigger issue currently. So what we do is, we're currently in a defect right now. So I'll build one of these. That takes away some of it. Another one. Alright. And just build another one. Let's see if that actually helps take care of a lot of the problem. Alright, so we're actually generating a nice excess of power again, which is always a good thing. Kind of scared me there for a second. Could be, that could had a really bad turn on the economy, like if no one was able to get power. Garbage, again, is always a problem in this fucking city. Clothes need power. Well, open. Come on. I'm not really sure what's happening, but it seems like my my wind power isn't really cutting it this time around. And I think that's mainly because I have a lot of apartment buildings coming up, and I think that's draining a good portion of actually my power. Clothes needs power. Fucking 600 and some kids talked there. Clothes needs power. Why is that still has no power? It's powering the entire city. I should be making a fucking a net gain on my wind farm now. Alright, so what I'll do is probably build two. Alright, is that open? Good. We have our school open. Fantastic. So I can at least hold off on another set of power things for now. I'm going to get a streetcar, because I feel like too many people have been... Stop the blackouts, give us power. So provide power to all the buildings. Done. Easy money. It's funny how she complains about it to a problem I have already been trying to fix actively. So what I'm going to do now is actually just... Oh, the sewage overflow place is... Actually, you know what? That's doing pretty well. The garbage place is doing pretty well. The water place is probably not doing great, as stated. So what I'm going to do is build another water place here. Maybe I can't. All I can do is just build an access road, like here, and then throw a water thing right there. So that should take care of the water problem in the city. Really, like, it's funny because this is actually the first time I've run into a lot of these problems in the city. Again, like, this is just, it's becoming a real issue here. And not enough fire coverage is also becoming an issue. So, there, done. Fire coverage, doubled. Education, always a problem again. Like, that's fine. Needs water. You see, that's the thing, right? I feel like almost it's too slow to interact, really. Because frankly, that's a problem I have solved. Or should have solved. Closed by mayor. Whoops. I think I might have closed that by accident. I was causing my own water problems. Alright, so water's fine. Now. They're pumping out plenty of water to the city. Whoops. Education is still always a goddamn concern, apparently. Closed, needs water. Hopefully that should be getting water soon. What I need to do is actually get up that. Finally, I have some time. So I'm going to build that shuttle service. So when in doubt, throw money at the problem. Trying to get the most bang for my buck with these bus stops, but I'm gonna see how this kind of rolls out, at least currently. So that should be fine. I feel like that's a pretty good start for a public transit system. It's going to be taxed like no one's business, though. Municipality for parking. Community can park and sit back and while taking buses. Require a bus terminal or a regional. So what I'm going to do is... There's plenty of bus stops on the way. I can probably add probably some kind of parking facility here. Enough, actually. And here, and just kind of find places to kind of fit it in for now. So... I kind of find it weird that these take money to actually run, considering it's just a park and go. Like, really? So far we have a pretty good bus system going on right now. We have a 6-bus system operating on like a generally a medium-sized city, really. Industrial demand is so high, really. Let's see how wind is doing. So wind is all going that way. We have a bunch of like closed down factories for some reason. 2 made deaths. Oh my god. Cause no power. Building fire. No power. No water. No power. Awesome. I love having a shitty industrial zone. But funny, as soon as I tear them down, new industrial zone comes up around them. Probably because, you know, the mayor doesn't care about industrial zones, but yet they will spend all their money to try to make me care. Alright, so more industrial zones through here. Really pollute that ocean water, really. Since sewage is still a goddamn problem in this city, I just gotta dump it over here. I should take some of the burden off of the city. Not enough money. I need more money, as I want to keep ahead of this whole power situation. You know, it's gonna be a real shitty situation if like, we ever get like an earthquake or something and it just wipes out my like wind farm, or we get a hurricane and it just rips apart all these freaking turbines. So So as you can see, there's actually like better. These vertical turbines are actually probably the best. But I'm just going to continue to produce like the really cheap ones, so I can produce like so many of them that it's not going to become a problem. As I stated before, like this whole like little oh, only 10 more minutes left. Wow, time really flies in this game, which is probably a good sign for me to actually go to bed, but I'm going to hold off on that for a little bit longer. Just mainly because I want to kind of prop this up a little bit more. You can actually kind of be surprised at how much you can get done in like 10 minutes. So this should actually elevate this entire sector. Again, I'm going to build. Wow, I really took a dive in actually the amount of money I am generating. Wow, what's this? These are really fancy building construction actually. What is this? Wow, I think this is actually the first time I have saw building construction of this size. Alright, that's really fancy. So we have all these like nice vacant businesses coming up. Always fantastic. Nice modern city. For lease. I love it. Yet we still have these friggin' nice little 1-2 person homes here. Well, you know, eventually they'll get dealt with, you know. There's the nice estates over here for the patricians. You know, the patricians actually really enjoy seeing the plebeians, so since they're just down the road, it's actually really convenient for them. So we have this nice building here. One of the really things I really enjoy about this game is like, you see, like, certain things get built. Like, for example, like a savings and loan, basically, right? So you have this savings and loan, and you get to see the savings and loan kind of develop over time. So eventually, it will become like a giant corporate banking system, and you're like, oh, how evil you have become. Well, I want to generate a lot of power. I'm really actually incredibly sad that this does not actually pull over into my like the real game. People are unhappy. Frankly, that's not really my problem. Again, in our quest line. Actually, I really enjoy the amount of detail on this, so I can just actually zoom in direct down to here. So we have like a cafe. This is still vacant, 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 vacant. Unfortunately, like it looks like a lot of these have not turned into proper businesses yet. So, but it's good that they're hiring, because wow, that is so not safe. You should not be doing that, people. Are you all waiting for a bus? Wow, I should actually probably do something about the busing system in this city. Wow, that's gonna be real dangerous. Patients being treatment, patient capacity, at 2 ambulances. What it needs is actually probably another clinic to actually take some of the pressure off of it. 94 students, available for upgrades. Upgrade that bad boy. Actually, I've been meaning to do this for a while. I'm going to build the financial sector. And I could build the Department of Education now, but apparently I can't, which kind of sucks. Because, you know, I don't really know, actually. I kind of wish we could, as I like the idea of, like, a Department of Education. Hospitals. Yes. Hospital. Actually, you know what? I should just wreck this entire system. Since I only really have 10 minutes left, I should just, like, unleash a tornado. Yeah, let's go. Let's unleash a tornado. There. Tornadoes. Oh no! There's a tornado! Who would have done this? What monster would wrought this upon a city? Can I steer it, I wonder? This way. No. This way. Yeah. Yes. Wow, building codes must be really good in this city. Oh, never mind. Take it back. Oh no. Well, at least it's not destroying my fancy roads. You know what? This is like do multiple hurricanes, tornadoes. Yeah, just the entire town will be wrecked by hurricane. Tornadoes. Sorry. Yes. Yes. Destroy all the fancy cars parked in the lot. Oh, yes. Give me another one of those bad boys. You know what? I have always hated the industrial sector, so let's just do this. Oh, the humanity! Oh, this is actually my least favorite part of Civ. I hate all the disasters. But, you know, since this doesn't actually matter, I might as well just wreck my city as much as possible. Ah, those are actually needed for the city, though. It's kind of sad. You know what? I was contemplating wrecking the patricians, but let's just be honest, I am a patrician, so let's just kill all the poor people. Yes. Yes, poor people. You should have bought better houses. Alright, that's enough of that. I'm actually really... you know what? I'm gonna end it there. And this was a quick look at the beta of SimCity, and I really cannot wait for this game to come out.